tradition, our oral history, where it has come to pass, things that the prophet prophesied about in the early 1900s. The prophet never really prophesied about us having an Asiatic mayor in the city of Detroit prior to having an Asiatic mayor in the city of Detroit. And we have had one for a number of years until recently. The prophet also prophesied about us, and this is, if this don't strengthen your faith, I don't know what would, but in the early 1920s, Prophet Noble said, if the Europeans be just, we will have an Asiatic president. No, he said we'll have a European president and an Asiatic vice president. He said, but if you be even more just, we'll have an Asiatic president and a European vice president. And we had that today with the Barack Obama and Joe Biden. So that's just one of the things that the prophet prophesied about that's come to pass, and I want to bring your attention to. He also told us in that chapter that we are returning certain things. We got to give some things that were placed in us. We got to give it back. He said we are returning the church and Christianity back to the European nations that we were prepared by their forefathers for their earthly salvation, while we are returning to Islam for our earthly and divine salvation. Meaning that we have a salvation here on earth as well as spiritual. And we got to give attention to both. A lot of people just so spiritual, so holified, they lose sight of their physical lives, and most of the time it reflects in our health. We got to start living and eating as if we are what Allah made us to be. That is God men and God women of planet Earth. Allah made us to be the Lord of the plane of things made manifest. He made us to preside over everything. He made us to rule over everything. But we have, in our utter shame, we have slowed down and started being ruled for the things that we said to rule over. I'm going to step off the podium and come back as the Sunday school teacher. All right. Brother Cuban is making the new praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Honest to Noble Drew Ali.
Honest to Noble Drew Ali.
Honest to Marcus Garden.
Honest to Brother C. Kirkman-Bey.
Brothers to C. Kirkman-Bey.
F. Nelson Bay.
Brady Blakely Bay.
R. Love Bill.
R. Jones Bay.
M. Hayes Bay.
To all Morris Merit.
All Morris Merit.
Before we get off into the portion there, I just want to make some things clear, because I know we've been having some guests coming in, and a lot of times we as members of the long-time members of the Moorish Scientific of America, we get to talking and we get to using language that some may not understand. Some may not understand what we mean about we give honors to our past leaders and don't know who or what our past leaders, who they are or what they have done. So I just want to let the guests know, and as well as some of the members, that Brother C. Kirkman-Bey became the successor, if you will, to Prophet Noble Drew Ali after Prophet Noble Drew Ali passed in July 1929. And F. Nelson Bay, J. Blakely Bay, Brother R. Love Bill, and personally Brother R. Jones Bay have followed suit or followed that successorship. So we honor those who have stepped up to take their place as leaders in the Moorish Scientific movement. We honor those who have played a role in uplifting our people from a dead state of mind, because that's where we find ourselves in today. We find ourselves trapped in mental slavery. Mental slavery is so subtle that some of us believe that we are free until you try to exercise your freedom. I read somewhere they said, and this is not speaking radical against the United States of America, but I have read somewhere where they said that the United States of America, and it is turning into a big old prison system. And he said not only the prisons that are built in each state to house those who are convicted of certain crimes, but also to so-called free society. And he made an interesting point. He said, if you don't believe me, try to lead a country. You cannot lead a country without permission to lead a country. Prophet Noble came to teach us about our divine rights. Our divine rights are considered our unalienable rights. He told us to support the Constitution of the United States of America. The United States of America contains certain unalienable rights. But even without the Constitution, our unalienable rights still stand true and firm because the great God Allah made us, and He is the guider of our lives. I just wanted to clear that up. Also, I want to let everybody know the vacant chair. We don't praise the vacant chair as some may think. What we do is we recognize this chair, we recognize as the seat of power. The Grand Sheik, Brother M.Bey, always talk about the holy seat in Catholicism. Well, seat in English means seat. This is the holy seat of the Moorish Science Temple of America where Prophet Noble Ali would be sitting if he was here. So we give homage to the vacant chair so we can know, which, like I said, it only symbolized that the prophet was in the land. That's what that seat represents, the holy seat of power. Noble Ali is the soul.
Take your time.
Noble Ali still exists today as the corporate soul of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's why he instructs us when we do business, do it in his name or in the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Prophet Noble Ali lives with us each and every day through our laws. The Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America is our holy laws, the divine which was prepared and given to us by Allah to take us to a certain place in life. And that certain place in life is to the highest plane of spirit life. Let me get up into the portion there. And how we conduct Sunday school here, most of the members know. If you have any question that you would like to ask, just raise your hand. And I will acknowledge you and ask that question. And the class will participate in trying to assist you with a better understanding that you may have based on the question. And then after everyone has shared their thoughts or their understanding, we will take the question back to you and see if you are satisfied with the answer and if you have any more questions. Shoot anybody have questions? By Constitution Dialogue, it says, this organization is more scientific than America. It's not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and Constitution of the state government. So to obey it is not. I don't know what Constitution are they talking. The brother's question is, the divine Constitution and bylaws. First let me ask one question. Who made
Allah.
Who is Allah?
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Confirm myself to the question here. The brother's question is, in Act 5 of the Divine Constitution and Bylaws, it says, this organization of the Moorish People of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey it hereby. The brother want to know which constitution is being referenced that we should not attempt to overthrow in Act 5. Questions in class.
Islam is speaking about the said, when you use the terminology said, it's speaking about the present governing body that is speaking on prior to that. And it's talking about the Moorish Science Temple of America. This governing body, this constitution, this law. We have to overthrow those laws once they have been established and set in place by our Grand Sheik and our chairman, with the assistance and advisory of the prophet. No member is to overthrow those laws or those constitutional laws and policies that we have. Islam.
So you said the Moorish Science Temple of America? Anyone else? Brother D.BARNES-BEY.
Islam. I'm in agreement with Brother M.BAY, but I would like to enlighten ones on the fact that Prophet is trying to keep us in line with the laws of the land. See, we derive our power and authority from the Holy Quran of Mecca. And within those laws there, it teaches you that wherever land that a Muslim finds himself in, he must adhere himself to those particular laws. And the prophet said the greatest document ever written is the Constitution of the United States of America, the Republic. And within that particular laws, it gives us a greater and a grander understanding of our authority here in America, because in Section 6, Amendment 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken, it stipulates that whenever the United States of America goes into a treaty with anyone, that particular law becomes the supreme law of the land. And Morocco Empire instituted the Peace of Friendship Treaty with the United States of America, which still stands today, which is the supreme law of the land, right here and there. So we must obey that law so we can stay in line with the law of the Prophet D.BARNES-BEY, because he said, I signed up with the government to go one way, and we must go that particular way. We are a wheel within a wheel. Peace.
Anyone else?
You got some brothers that'll try to break away and then say they're not part of the government. But on our nationality card, it says I'm a citizen of the USA. Wow.
In our time of day,
You don't have to about right here. People are talking about with us all know what plans they got. I'm going to go on that. This is only thing that's more science to America not to call and refuse or to overthrow the law and constitution of the This is what it's saying to us. This organization, talking about the Moorish Science Temple of America, this organization is not to cause any confusion. One way to cause confusion is to go around and call yourself low colored and black. You cause all type of confusion when you do that type of stuff. See, that's one way, in conjunction with what's been said, this one way you don't want to do that. See, Negroes and colored folks and black people, those type of things. You are in violation, you're in violation of the Constitution when you do those type of things.
wow. Anyone else? I'm in concern for most of the answers that I heard, but the thing that stand out to me is this. Well, I'm just going to say this. That's why it's important to learn the history of the Moorish Science of America, because you start getting a greater insight on some of the reasons Prophet D.BARNES-BEY instituted some of these laws. One of the things that happened in, you can just about imagine, in 1913, in the early 20s and things of that nature, you got so-called Negroes and blacks declaring that they're not Negroes and blacks and colors in Ethiopia. They got nationality cards, and they were going around flashing them as Europeans, showing the Europeans. And we used the term Asiatic, they started thinking we was communists. Yeah. And there was several FBI investigations into the Moorish Science of America based on this reason. Wow. But Prophet D.BARNES-BEY is letting us know that this organization, it wouldn't make sense for him to say this organization of the Moorish Science of America shouldn't have violated its own laws. That's already established. What he said, when it said this organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America, it said of America, meaning that this Moorish Science Temple of America belongs to America, the American institution. We're not here to overthrow the Constitution. We're not here to try to usurp the government. What we're here to do is enforce the Constitution. And with enforcing the Constitution, there's no such thing as those Negroes, blacks, and colors, Ethiopians, Coons, Shines, African Americans attached to the human family. So the Constitution is not speaking to those people. So when you call yourself, you are creating confusion by saying that, because they're trying to figure out where you belong, how you fit into this. And that's where the 14th and the 15th Amendment come in, and what Prophet D.BARNES-BEY said, we don't need the 14th and 15th Amendment for salvation of our people, because of what took place in 1774, declared all men equal and free. But when it says, it's talking about the Constitution of the United States of America. And the reason why you know that, because just like the Moore said, when it says, thus said, when they use terms like thus said, it's speaking about, when it says thus said, it's speaking about the government that had already been spoken of, and America is the government that was spoken of, not the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's why Act 7 of the Divine Constitutional Bylaws, it says Moorish Science Temple. Meaning that the Moorish Science Temple of America has an international scope. Moorish Science Temple can be established outside of America. And it would be known as the Moorish Science Temple, wherever but it's domiciled in America. But anyone have anything else on that? For the D.BARNES-BEY?
That's why it's imperative for us to claim our nationality, to stand in defense of the gospel. So if you take notice of what's going on today, they're trying to eradicate this particular constitution. Because if they eradicate this particular constitution, it gives them more leverage on to try to keep us in slavery. Because if we uphold the law, then we got to push forward with the completion of what this law stipulates. Because the supreme law of the land is that treaty that was signed by the Sultan to recognize this particular land to be free, national. So we got what's imperative that we get on the front line and defend this gospel. Peace.
Peace.
So I think that you have the states making their own constitutions too, and they come in conflict with the United States of America Constitution. So they what we have to do is get away from I'm not saying get away from the states, but whoever's making the laws in the states, they have to be current with the United States Constitution because they come in conflict.
Correct. They're making state law, just laws, statutes, ordinances that are being made and enforced upon us that goes against the Constitution of the United States of America. Just like what Brother Gardner-Bey was saying, is the United States, Article 6, the Constitution states that any treaty, well, you got the Articles of Confederation, Articles of Declaration, the Bill of Rights, all these things were made up in the United States Constitution, as well as the treaties that were made by the supreme law of the land. Now, a lot of Moors will say that, oh, that's teaching sovereignty. If the Prophet wanted us to know about the treaty, he would have told us about the treaty. But when he told us what time he was given to our rule in Morocco, he said Sultan, and the Sultan is the one that entered into the treaty. The Sultan of Morocco is the one that entered into the treaty with the United States of America. It started to become apparent that the Prophet was implying that the treaty should be enforced and utilized by Moors in America. And even more so, why would the Sultan of Morocco have to enter a treaty with America pertaining to Moors if there was no Moors here?
Islam.
This is like going to make a deal with somebody to have a 50,000 seated venue, but you make and ain't nobody there. That don't make no sense. So sometimes we got to start using common sense. The Prophet said, when it was stated that the Prophet only gave us half. It was stated in 1928 by the Grand Governor. I can't think about the name right off the top of my head, but he said the Prophet only gave us 50% of what he wanted us to know because the Moors were just not ready for it at this time. That's why he said the third and fourth generation will see the good of our work. And if you have faith in the Prophet, how could you doubt what the Prophet said if you have faith in it? You're going to follow a person to a destiny that is uncertain, though unknown, and you don't have complete faith in it. The reason why I say individuals don't have faith in it because they started to question what the Prophet said was going to happen. They question what the Prophet said was going to happen. So while you question, for example, I'm going to take the question back to a few weeks before I get off of this. I was about to say, for example, you have individuals talking about, and this is a big thing in the Moorish Science of America. That's why I'm bringing it up now, because I was just really listening to something yesterday, and it was kind of disturbing to me. But at the same time, I had to shake that disturbance off and pay attention to the lesson. You have individuals out here going around here, all they focus on is what happened during the Prophet's time, when the Prophet got ready to pass, what happened between Brother Millie Ill, Brother Kirkman-Bey, John Ginnazil, all these individuals. But they're not looking at the fact that the Prophet set up this movement to go a certain way. And he also told us that Allah guides the destiny of this movement. Yes, so when Brother C. Kirkman-Bey became the successor and the Supreme Grand Advisor of the Moorish Science of America,